Also, race car driver Hermie Sadler has the Breakfast of Champions coming your way.
Mike Monkey may be his day job, but Hermie's a driver at heart, and he's strapping up and hammering down today. We'll continue the sneak peek into life behind the wheel and show you how a driver gets ready to hit the track. Coming at you, NASCAR Race Day, built by the Home Depot on Speed.
Welcome back, everybody. You know, 500 laps around any racetrack can be very physically demanding. When you have to go around a racetrack like Martinsville, it can flat out beat you up and wear you out. So what do you have to do? You have to have the Breakfast of Champions before you get ready to jump behind the wheel of a race car. Let's go to Hermie Sadler to see what kind of breakfast a race car driver really needs. Hermie?
Well, JR, right now is when we're taking you behind the scenes, showing our race day viewers at home really what it's going to take for me to have a good finish today. Now, I sent some of my scouts down to my competitors, Carl Edwards, Jimmy Johnson, and Mark Martin. They're eating bananas, oranges, cantaloupes, salad, fruits, all kind of vegetables, but they're not going to compete with me. You know why? Here's my pre-race meal right here. I got pancakes. We're going to flop them here on the grill. Pancakes, Breakfast of Champions, and look, don't forget, on top of the pancakes, we're going to put some Anderson's pure maple syrup on top of it. That'll beat a box of fruit any day of the week, Johnny.
Hermie, you just have to make sure you don't flop on the racetrack, right? That got nothing. I thought that at least got a laugh out of it.
He stopped on that one. He stopped.
Hermie Sadler's got two jobs today. He's got to be pit reporter as well as race car driver. And Hermie, the driver's meeting is a big part of the day preparation-wise for a driver.
It really is, Johnny, and the driver's meeting just broke up right here in the tent, right beside the Goodyear facility here in Martinsville Speedway. One note that came up in the driver's meeting, everybody stood up and applauded and honored Barney Hall for over 50 years of service to NASCAR and MRN Radio, and everybody on this show has had a relationship with Barney Hall over the years, and he's been great for the sport. So thanks, Barney, for being here today and everything he's done for the sport. But, you know, they give you a lot of information on the video screen about the rules and regulations for today's race, but here's a little handout they give us in the driver's meeting for the crew chiefs. It talks about awards from last week's race. Then you scroll down, driver intros 12:30, remove generators 12:45, Pledge of Allegiance 1 o'clock, Invocation 1:01, National Anthem, command to start engines, and then, you know, pit road speed, caution car speed, where pit road speed begins, all the rules and regulations for today's race, and a lot goes on at a short track. So pretty interesting for the fans to be able to see what they give the drivers in the crew chiefs and the drivers meeting. But other than tell us gas is on the right, brakes on the left, and no bumping and no zigzagging, a pretty standard driver's meeting, Johnny.
And Hermie, that's very cool to see Barney Hall get honored like that. He's the standard by which the rest of us are judged, and he's not retiring yet. They're just honoring him now for 50 years. Barney's going to be with us for a while. And our good friend Hermie Sadler will be behind the wheel today. Hermie spent a lot of time in the race truck and the race car this weekend. What can you tell us about a lap around Martinsville?
Well, a lot of things have changed, but one thing has not, and that's how tough Martinsville is. Let's take a couple laps around this racetrack, riding with Tony Stewart. Now, we're riding on Tony Stewart's front bumper. Don't you think that camera's going to get some action today? But here we go. Down in turn one, you want to stay right close to that curbing, get the car pointed, get a good shot off the corner. Forward bite will be an issue today. That's what you'll hear the drivers complaining about all day. Need more forward bite. Something else to watch out for is overdriving the corners. Watch Juan Pablo Montoya go down into turn one, gets in too hot. Watch him slide up the racetrack. That is a mistake on the driver's part. If you do that today, you will lose a lot of spots on this racetrack. So very, very much a rhythm racetrack, Johnny. You got to do the same thing for 500 laps.
One of the reasons qualifying is so huge at this racetrack is because of the tight pit roads. Some of the pit stalls are actually curved, and there's certainly not much room when you got a half-mile racetrack and all those pit stalls. Isn't that correct, Hermie?
Well, Johnny, you're exactly right. And you go back to the beginning of the show today, Wendy Venturini said Denny Hamlin spent all day on Friday in qualifying training. Number one, he wanted that track position. Number two, he wanted that number one pit stall around the other side of this racetrack. Now, we're in pit stall number 23 for the 71 car, and reason that's not as good as being around the other end, once the drivers in this side of pit road get their pit stop done and leave, you still got to watch out for cars breaking out of their pit stop and slowing you down on pit road. But let's take a look at the 71 pit box. As you can see, things are set up. You got a camera up top that they'll film all the pit stops. Take a look at it. There's the pit sign. And as we come back across pit road, we've got all the jacks, 2 jacks, air hoses. We want to put wedge in, wedge out. We got a wrench for each one to do that. cans for the gas. We got a lot of Goodyear tires laying around. And look at the monitors back here where the pit crew guys can watch the monitor, see what's going on the racetrack, and keep up with the 71 car on the track. We are prepared to run 500 laps today, but Wendy Venturini, pit road will play a key in this race today, especially for the guys in that chase, because for those guys, every point counts.
Best of luck to our good friend Hermie Sadler. We know you're going to get behind the wheel of that car and drive the wheels off of it.
Yeah, looking forward to it. And hey, want everybody to see, got my new uniform here, Hermie and Elliott Sadler Foundation. Got some cool gloves I'm gonna wear today. My fireproof underwear. I got a fireproof shirt. Only problem is I never fit into that. Got shoes, helmet, the whole 9 yards. I'm excited about getting on the racetrack today for 500 laps, but I'm also excited to have a close-up view of what happens for this chase to the championship. Wendy?